Coach, your second season here at SMU, kind of what are your expectations going into this season that maybe were a little different than last year?
Well, I don't think the expectations are ever any different. You always want to win, and you know, we're hoping that we can win enough games to get to a bowl game. That was our goal last year. That's what it'll be this year. You know, along the way, you got to teach everybody how to do that, and you know, we made great headway, even though we went through an adverse season, winning going 1-11. But you know, as you look back, you know, we could have won 4 or 5 games, and just learning how to win. You got to learn how to win when you haven't been winning, and those are the things that I take pride in doing, and we'll teach the kids how to win.
Talk about quarterback Bo Levi Mitchell's progression. You guys kind of threw him in the fire right away as a freshman. Just where do you think he is at this point?
Well, he's much better than he was, having lived through last season. You know, I don't think it was really fair to him what we did. You know, he came out of a very conservative offense, you know, in high school, and he's a tough, competitive kid, a leader and winner. And we threw him into, you know, kind of a passing offense where he threw it 12 times a game to making him throw it 50 times a game. And you know, he kind of lived and learned. He got better as he went. He hurt his shoulder a little right when he was starting to get it figured out, and that set him back. And had that not happened, I think you know, he would be feeling a lot more confident right now. But he had a good spring. He's had a good summer. Worked hard, working out every day, and that usually pays off.
I want to get your thoughts on Conference USA's defenses. With so many teams going vertical in Conference USA, do you feel that maybe some of the defenses are more prepared for your offense than schools in the WAC were when you were at Hawaii?
No, it's the same schemes. They've been playing the same schemes against us since we played in the National Football League. There's not really anything different that way. I think the conference is probably more evenly matched from top to bottom than the conference that I came from. But as far as the football part, it's all the same. It doesn't change usually.
There's been much made about the switch on the defensive side of the football to the 3-4. Just talk a little bit about that, and talk a little bit about what you think maybe the strength of your defense will be this year.
Well, I think the strength of our defense will be our defensive line. We've got some good, solid players in there, young kids that are going to be size and speed, and I think that they're good. I think that we have you know, a chance to be improved. We're going to the scheme that we're talking about. It's pretty much all the same stuff. It's just called a little differently. We played a lot of 3-man front last year. In fact, more than what people realize, probably 65% of the time, and we had a lot of success with it. And so we're just kind of, rather than having the 4-down be our base, we're going to have the 3-down be our base. We'll still have a 4-man front, still have 4-man schemes, but the basis will probably be a little bit more 3-down.
Talk a little bit about the secondary. At times they had some rough patches last year, giving up quite a few passing yards. Where do you feel they're at?
Well, I think we're you know, better because the people that we had last year were young in a couple of situations that you're referring to, and again they now have a year experience. We have recruited some kids that we think are going to, you know, be competitive back there right away, and that competition always makes everybody better. And you know, I think that you know, we probably put a couple of the freshman corners in some tough situations last year, just being freshmen, because we didn't really have any other choice. We talked about in the other room, you know, if I had to do it over, I would just put Emmanuel out there, because I know he would have made a play, and it probably would have been a little bit fair contest than having a veteran receiver going against an 18-year-old corner. So I think we'll be much improved on defense.
As you look at Conference USA, who are some teams that maybe stick out to you specifically in the Western Division?
Well, in the Western Division, I think Houston is going to be the team to beat. They got really explosive offense. They lost some defensive guys, but they'll have athletes to fill in. I think they're the team that is. UTEP is expected to have a lot of people back, and usually when that happens and you got your quarterback back, then usually they're going to be a little better than they were. So Tulsa obviously is you know, going to be right there again, even though they lost their quarterback. I think sometimes, like I said, that no matter even if you think you have a quarterback that's coming that's better than him, just because he hasn't played, you're going to take a little step back. So you know, we'll be anxious to see how they play, but you know, they're a good, solid football team, well-coached team.
My last question, Coach, will it be a disappointing season if you don't go to a bowl game in your eyes?
Yeah, but it always is disappointing if you don't go to a bowl game because that's what you're setting out to do. You know, I've got my eyes set on that Sheraton Hawaii Bowl is where I want to go, and that would be a big national covered game if we're lucky enough to get there.